Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take a historical tour. Enlarge the map. I came to Tsuwano in Shimane Prefecture. Your current location is here. Switching to your camera. I'm riding the sightseeing lift to get to my destination.
おー、すげえ。あ、乗るだけでも楽しいな。でも
This lift is more fun than I expected. You can also climb it on foot, but I don't have the courage to walk up such a steep slope. The cool air from the mountains feels good.
これ下り怖いかも。
The slope is steeper than I thought, so it might be scary to go down.
お、もうちょっとか。こんにちは。スリリングありますね。
You can greet people on the down lift. We arrived at the top in no time.
あ、こんにちは。あ、そこで。あ、はい、そっちですね。
Once you get off, move immediately to the left.
よし、はい。はい、エンド。
I have a wooden walking stick. I'll borrow one. If you've come this far, you all know where you're going, right? Our destination is the Tsuwano Castle ruins. I would like to explain about Tsuwano Castle here.
Tsuwano Castle is a typical mountain castle located on Mount Reiki at an altitude of 362 meters, about 200 meters above the foot of the mountain. It is said to have been built by Yoshimi Masayori and Ushirota between 1295 and 1324. The medieval mountain castle built by the Yoshimi clan was extensively renovated into a modern castle with high stone walls by Sakazaki Naomori, who entered the castle as a daimyo with a fief of 30,000 koku in 1601 after the Battle of Sekigahara. In 1617, Kami Masanori moved from Shikano Castle in Inaba province as a feudal lord with a fief of 43,000 koku, and it continued to be the castle of 11 generations of the Kami clan until the Meiji Restoration. Tsuwano Castle was a very practical mountain castle with a main enclosure and a separate enclosure called Demaru, also known as Oribamaru, with a main road running between them. The Hamaru and Ninomaru once had a 3-story castle tower and turrets, but they were destroyed by lightning in 1686 and have never been rebuilt. Most of the castle buildings were demolished in 1874 to 1875, but the magnificent, stepped, high stone walls remain on the mountaintop, and you can see the remains of the massive civil engineering work that was carried out by hand. The Tsuwano domain's headquarters was located at the foot of Shiroyama on the northeastern side. The medieval mountain castle stretched over an enormous area of approximately 2 kilometers from north to south, and the magnificent high stone walls of the early modern mountain castle and the group of mountain castle buildings that once existed there are said to be the largest in Japan.
Oh no, the regular route is under construction. A detour route has been created. I guess it's lucky that it's only for a limited time. Tsuwano Castle is also known as Sanbonmatsu Castle. It takes about 5 minutes to get to the main castle at the top. It's a thrilling route. Here we will explain the Battle of Sanbonmatsu Castle that took place long ago.
The Battle of Sanbonmatsu Castle, one of the battles that took place in Japan's Sengoku period. From March to August in 1554 Tenbun 23, Uchi Yoshinaga and Su Harakata attacked Yoshimi Masayori, the lord of Sanbonmatsu Castle, Tsuwano Castle in Iwami Province, and the 10th head of the Yoshimi clan. The information board at the castle ruins also states the attack on Sanbonmatsu Castle. In 1551, Su Takafusa Harakata, who had defeated Uchi Yoshitaka in the Taineji incident, invited Otomo Hairwide, a member of the Uchi clan who had taken refuge with the Otomo clan in Bungo Province, to become the new head of the family as Uchi Yoshinaga. Although he was effectively a puppet head of the family for Harakata, local lords under the Uchi clan, such as Mori Motonari and Masuda Fujikane, continued to serve Yoshinaga. Among them, Yoshimi Masayori, a local lord of Tsuwano, Iwami, was Yoshitaka's brother-in-law. Yoshitaka's sister was his legal wife, and he owed him a great deal of gratitude when Masayori inherited the headship of the Yoshimi family. On the other hand, the Yoshimi clan and the Su clan were enemies due to past events, and for that reason, Masayori had taken an anti-Su Harakata stance since the Taineji incident. In October 1553, Yoshimi Masayori raised an army to overthrow Su. Su Harakata also sent troops to attack Masayori, but they were forced into a difficult battle against Masayori, who was fighting for the noble cause of avenging his lord. In battles at Nosaka Pass in Takasawara, Nagato Province, Yoshimi retainers Shimose Uramasa and Hatano Shigenobu defeated the Su army led by Machino Takakazi and others. So Harakata planned a large-scale attack on Yoshimi, waiting for the snow to thaw. He also requested that his subordinate local lords, including Motonari, send troops. The request to Motonari and others to march is said to have been sent around New Year's the following year, but Mori did not make his position clear. Harakata, who had grown impatient with Motonari showing no signs of marching, sent a secret emissary in late February directly requesting that he send troops. On March 1, 1554, Su Harakata accompanied Uchi Yoshinaga to battle. The Uchi forces were said to have included Arafusahide, Nato Takayo, Shirai Masatane, Nomi Masakatsu, Katsumata Moriharu, Waki Kanachika, Okaga Itomo, Hisayoshi Masashige, Miyagawa Fusanaga, Miura Fusakio, and Machino Ruji. Yoshinaga set up his headquarters at Watarigawa Castle, and Harakata and his men led the vanguard as they advanced their troops to Motoyama Castle. On March 2nd, they attacked Kagaku Castle, a subsidiary castle of Sanbonmatsu Castle. The castle lords, Hatano Shigenobu and his son Hatano Hidenobu, and the reinforcements Yoshimi Norihiro and Shimose Uramasa were holed up in Kagaku Castle, while Yoshiga Urasada and his son led their troops to a camp a short distance from Katsuyama. Harakata, the vanguard of the Uchi forces, surrounded the castle with a large army including Hironaka, Miura, and Machino forces. It is said that the besieged fought well, taking advantage of the fortified terrain, but the castle fell the next day when the vassal Tanaka Jirobei betrayed the Su forces. Hatano father and son, Yoshimi Norihiro, and others were killed in battle, and Shimose and Yoshiga were defeated and fled. On March 16, the Uchi forces joined forces with those of Masuda Fujikane. Yoshinaga's main camp also moved to Motoyama Castle. He also began to attack the castles of Yoshimi. On March 19, Harakata's vanguard forces surrounded Sanbonmatsu Castle, and the villagers in the castle area barricaded themselves inside. Harakata set up his headquarters on a 4 to a meter high mountain present-day Swagatake overlooking Sanbonmatsu Castle from the south across the Tsuwano River. On April 17, the Uchi forces launched an all-out attack, but the besieged side successfully defended themselves. After that, by August 2nd, there had been a total of 12 battles, but Sanbonmatsu Castle had not fallen. It said that the surrounding temples and shrines were burned down due to the fires caused by the siege by Su's forces. In addition, Shimose Castle and Ante Castle, which were subsidiary castles of Sanbonmatsu Castle, were also under siege. Of these, Shimose Castle, located on Shimasayama near the border between the Yoshimi and Masuda territories, is about 10 kilometers north of Sanbonmatsu Castle in a straight line, but is said to have been connected to the castle along the mountain ridge, and Masuda Fujikane attacked it in order to isolate Sanbonmatsu Castle. In addition to his forceful attacks, Fujikane also attempted various maneuvers to force the castle to surrender. In late March, he informed Yoshimi of the fall of Nagano Castle and encouraged the surrender of the castle, and in May, he arranged for a false letter to be sent to Shimose Castle stating that Emri attacked Sakura Castle of the Su side but was defeated due to betrayal by his own allies. It is generally believed that when Yoshimi Masayori raised his army, he requested cooperation from Mori Motonari and a secret agreement was made between Yoshimi and Mori, but there is no historical evidence to support this. Furthermore, in August, false information was spread that peace negotiations were taking place between Su, Yoshimi, Masuda, and Amigo, but this was denied. During the siege, Masayori moved his base from Sanbonmatsu Castle, which was under fierce attack, to Shimose Castle. Independence from the control of the Mori and Uchi clans. A peace agreement was reached between the Uchi and Yoshimi clans, Meanwhile, in Aki, in early March, a secret letter and a secret messenger from Su Harakata were revealed to Mori Motonari. This was something that Harakata had sent to the people of Aki, and it broke the Mori clan's promise to coordinate the people of Aki. This accelerated the movement towards secession and independence from the Uchi. On May 12, Mori broke with the Uchi and Su, raised an army, and suddenly captured the Su castles in Aki. Surprised, Harakata entrusted his forces to Miyagawa Fusanaga and had him rush to Aki, but was defeated at the Battle of Orishikiyata on June 5. It is also said that during the battle at Sanbonmatsu Castle, Mori retainers Nanamiya Achu and Ito Modatane rushed to the scene with a small force to reinforce the defenses of Nakakojo Castle. However, this is doubtful, and it is believed that no reinforcements were sent from the Mori. Harakata used the rebels who opposed the Mori and his subordinate Kigoshu navy to keep the Mori in check, but it was clear that he was in a difficult position as Motonari advanced to take control of Aki province while the main forces of the Uchi and Su were pinned down at Awami Sanbonmatsu Castle, and at the same time, Yoshimi Masayori was also running low on supplies due to the prolonged siege. As a result, moves towards peace began between Uchi or Su and Yoshimi, and on September 2nd, a peace agreement was reached on the condition that Masayori's son, Kamiyomaru Yoshimi Hiroyori, be sent to Yamaguchi as a hostage. Thus, Sanbonmatsu Castle, along with Shimo's Castle and Antei Castle, were spared from capture. The Bungo-cho Fuch Shin-an, compiled during the Edo period, states that at Keigan Castle, 1,000 cavalry from Katsuyama Castle Keigan Castle resisted a large army of over 30,000 Su troops. Although this is not a complete fabrication, it is considered an exaggeration considering the size of Keigan Castle. According to the newsletter of the Society for Protecting Suwano's Nature and History, the Uchi and Su clans had forces of around 20,000, while local history researchers put the Uchi forces at 15,000 including 2,000 Masuda forces and the Yoshimi forces at 1,200.
If Yoshimi Masayori had not raised an army against Su Harakata, who had forced his sworn brother Uchi Yoshitaka to commit suicide, history may have been very different. I was able to get to an open area. The stone walls are really beautifully preserved. It's amazing how technology can last for hundreds of years. Your current location is around the kitchen. It seems that Harakata Su's headquarters was located on the mountain over there. So this battle took place at such a close distance for just under 6 months. This steep slope would have been a powerful weapon in defense. It's no wonder they were able to withstand 12 combined attacks. This is the horse stand. The tiles that were used at the time have fallen off. Is the area around Nishimanugura close to traffic? Wow, amazing. What a cliff. The enemy soldiers who climbed up here will end up leaving a mountain of corpses here. The path to the left leads to the castle tower in Honmaru. There are lots of pebbles and fallen leaves, so you need to walk slowly.
After the Battle of Sanbonmatsu Castle, after the Uchi or Su and Yoshimi reconciled, the Uchi forces lifted the siege of Sanbonmatsu Castle and returned to Yamaguchi. Su Harakata immediately set out to defeat Mori Motonari and made preparations to use Iwakuni as a base for an invasion of Aki. However, Motonari had extended his bribes to Arafusahide and Hisayoshi Masashige, blocking the Uchi forces' offensive. In the following year, 1555, after the Mori clan won the Battle of Itsukishima, Yoshimi Masayori recaptured Kamiomaru and his former territory of Hirayama Castle and Kagano Castle from the Uchi clan, and then invaded Yamaguchi while keeping the Masuda clan in check. Having made a major contribution to the conquest of Bungo and Choshu, Masayori joined the Mori clan and gained control of Nagato and Abu counties. Yoshimi Masayori, born in 1513 as the fifth son of Yoshimi Yorioki, he was originally a monk at Iwami Suwano Kogenji Temple, but in 1540, his elder brother Takayori Yoritaka, who had inherited the family headship from his father, died unexpectedly, so Masayori returned to secular life, took over as head of the family, and married Takayori's wife, Princess Omiya, older sister of Uchi Yoshitaka. Masayori was a man of integrity and was highly trusted by Uchi Yoshitaka. In April 1550, Masuda Fujikane attacked Ifamatsu Castle and Shimose Castle, but they were repelled. On September 1, 1551, Uchi Yoshitaka was killed in a rebellion by his senior vassal Takafusa. The Su and Yoshimi clans were both vassals of the Uchi clan, but had been bitter enemies since the Onin War. Furthermore, Takafusa had sided with the Masuda clan, which was fighting against Masayori at the time, so Masayori raised an army at the vanguard of the anti-Takafusa movement. After the fall of the Uchi clan, he became a vassal of Mori Motonari, and held territories in Yoshiga County, Iwami Province, Ebu County, Koto County, Nagato Province, and Sawa County, Suo Province. Like Yoshitaka, Motonari also had a lot of trust in Masayori's upright character. After Motonari's death in 1571, he was asked by Kikawa Motoharu to assist his grandson, Mori Terumoto, who succeeded him. In 1582, after his final campaign at Takamatsu Castle in Bichu Province, he handed over the family headship to his son Hiroyori and retired to Suzuki Castle in Abu County, Nagato. He died there on May 22, 1588, or late May 22nd. He was 76 years old. He was buried under Suzuki Castle, but was later reburied at the foot of Kushiyama in Oi Village, Abu County, Nagato.
We arrived at the main castle. A magnificent view of the town of Tsuwano and the beautiful mountains welcomes you. It would be really fun to have a picnic here. When you see this view, you'll understand why they were able to withstand the onslaught of the Uchi army for so long. The biggest mountain is Aono. Taro grown at the foot of Aono, a volcano, is characterized by its fine texture and sticky mouthfeel due to the fertile volcanic ash soil. In the past, it was presented to the Lord of Tsuwano Castle, and imoni is made with broth made only from grilled small sea bream and salt, and yuzu peel is added to the taro as the only ingredient. It is known as one of the three great imoni in Japan, along with imotaki from Oza City, Ehime Prefecture, and imoni from Nakayama Town, Yamagata Prefecture. After that, we walked around the castle. It was fun. Take the down lift. What's interesting about this lift is that each chair has a different shape. There are not many people around today, so I take a comfortable lift with a long backrest. It's a little scary to ride. The presence of Mt. Aono is amazing. Looking down, I see a mountain path. It would be pretty tough to climb on foot. We were able to get down in no time. You can see how great the lift is. Thank you very much. The shrine beneath Tsuwano Castle. Taikodani Inari Shrine. This is Tsuwano Town's most famous tourist attraction. It is painted with vermilion paint and is very beautiful.
It was first enshrined at the peak of Taikodani, at the northeastern end of Tsuwano Castle, from Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine in Kyoto in 1773 by the 7th Lord of the Tsuwano domain, Lord Kami Norisada, to pray for the peace and tranquility of the Tsuwano domain and the people of the domain. Since then, it has been deeply revered by successive domain lords, and until the Meiji Restoration, only the domain lords were allowed to visit, but now ordinary people can also visit. In 1924, Empress Kita Shirakawa Tomiko visited the shrine and donated treasures, establishing a treasure hall. And then the Yoro Library. In 1967, the mountain on the west side of the temple grounds was cut open to create land for the shrine. And in December 1969, a new shrine was completed and a shrine transfer ceremony was held. The old shrine is maintained as the original shrine, and a branch of the deity is enshrined there.
The view from the main hall is spectacular. You can also drive up to the main hall. We also recommend climbing through the Sanbonmatsu gates from the base of the mountain. The distance is not that far, so you can enjoy the scenery while climbing. Let's take a look at the charming castle town. Odom Pass Maria Cathedral. Tsuwano Catholic Church.
Tsuwano Town is an area known as the Little Kyoto of Seinen and is known for its charming townscape that evokes a sense of travel. The townscape of a castle town formed in the early Edo period remains almost intact, with cobblestone streets, narrow alleys, the remains of the former domain school, and the residences of chief retainers. It was also the site of the martyrdom of hidden Christians sent from Nagasaki, and there is a church of Western Gothic architecture that blends in with the castle town. In Tsuwano, where Western culture harmonizes with the history of the castle town, you can learn about the past history and culture that still lives on in the present day through visible objects.
Many food stalls come on festival days. Heron dance.
The Sagi dance is a Shinto performing art that was brought over from the Gion Festival in Yamaguchi by Yoshimi Masayori, the lord of Tsuwano Castle at the time, in 1542. However, its origins were passed down from the Gion Festival at Yasuka Shrine in Kyoto, and it was passed down from Kyoto to Yamaguchi, and from Yamaguchi to Tsuwano. During the reign of Dua no Kami Sakazaki, the tradition was temporarily discontinued, but during the reign of the Kami clan, Tsunemasa dispatched Sakata Hyazeman and Shibayahiko to Kyoto in 1643 to learn the Sajamai dance of the Gion Festival in Kyoto directly, and the tradition has been passed down to the present day. As times have changed, details about the Toya system, the Sajamai house, various ceremonies, and customs have been abbreviated and only records remain, but the Sajamai dance itself has been correctly passed down and carefully preserved, and is said to be the only Sajamai dance remaining in Japan. It is also highly regarded academically as a valuable intangible cultural heritage. Every year during the Gion Festival, on July 20th Goshinko Day, the dancers perform at 11 locations in the town, and on the 27th Gakonko Day, they perform at 9 traditional locations in the town. Tsuwano Town is located in the southwest of Shimane Prefecture, on the border with Yamaguchi Prefecture, and is said to have derived its name from the fields overgrown with Japanese butterbur, after a castle was built on Mount Reiki, which overlooks the Tsuwano Basin. At the end of the Kamakura period, the town became a key location on the highway connecting Sanin and Sanyo, and during the Edo period it prospered with an industry centered on washi paper.
I hope all of our viewers will come to Tsuwano and enjoy their trip. Well, I'll end it here. Thank you for watching.